What's up, guys? In today's video, we're going to be talking about how you can increase your credit scores, and we're just going to get right into it. So the first thing you want to do is look at your spending habits. Are you using your credit card for all your purchases? You can't be using your credit card for gas and a Snickers bar once a month and putting everything else on your debit card. You really do need to utilize not all of it, but you do need to be using your credit card frequently and for all your purchases so you can show the credit bureaus that you are able to manage the credit that they are giving you. If someone gives you money and you never use it, it doesn't really prove that you can pay it back. It just means that you can hold on to it. And so if you want the credit bureaus to increase your credit, to give you more money, to trust you with a lot more money, you're going to need to use the credit you already have. And I will say a big part of credit is mental. It's a mental game. I know people think that, if you have a $10,000 credit limit, that you have $10,000. But if you want to know how much money you have, log into your bank account and that is how much money you have to spend. But you want to spend it on the credit card, not only for the, building trust with the banks, but also if you have a credit card like an AMEX card or a card that gives you cash back, you're getting more benefit and more, bang for your buck with the credit card anyway. In addition to that, credit cards are a lot more secure than debit cards. If you're subject to fraud, if someone makes a fraudulent purchase, if someone, gets a hold of your credit card information, credit card companies are a lot more likely to fight for you and to, side with you, because at the end of the day, your credit limit is their money. If your Bank of America card gets hacked or stolen, that's your money. It's in your account, and Bank of America, not that they're not going to fight for you, but credit card companies, they go hard for their customers because the fraudulent people, they're stealing from them and not from you. You see what I'm saying? So you definitely need to look at how often you're using your card. If you only use your card once a month, it's going to be hard for people to trust you because you don't really have a history of using your card. So let's start there. My second point is your utilization rates. Okay, everybody's credit report and credit journey history is very different. So what's on your credit report might not allow you to have a high credit utilization rate. For example, if you have late payments, if you have missed payments, if you have like eviction or anything else on your credit report that might, make it harder for people or lenders to trust you, you might only be able to keep your utilization rates at 3% without, being red flagged or without your credit score decreasing. But a tip for this is to you are going to call. You're going to look at your free credit report that you get every year and see if there's any fraudulent info on it. See if there's anything that can be taken off of your credit report. See if there's anything that, sometimes you can call and be like, hey, that was an accident, or hey, can you just help me remove this? And sometimes they will help you remove that thing if it's deserved, if it's a good reason for them to remove it. So make sure you're keeping that in mind. I would say don't have your credit utilization more than 20%. I personally keep mine at 20% just because my credit score still increased, my credit limits are still increased. So for me, because I don't have any missed payments, I don't have any negative marks on my credit report, I'm able to kind of do that. But like someone else that I know who doesn't have the best credit history, high utilization rates on their credit report actually lowers their score, and I'm sure that doesn't help increase their credit limit at all. So keep that in mind. There is a tip going around that if you pay your credit card off 15 days early, it does increase your score, and I think that's a good idea. I haven't had any problems though. I usually pay my credit card off. I used to pay it off every single time I used to pay it off every single time a payment posted, but now I usually just pay it off once a month, whatever day I feel like paying it off. That's when I'll pay it off. So it hasn't negatively impacted me. Could my credit score and credit limits be a lot higher? Possibly, but I don't have any issue with it. And I haven't experienced any negative reaction to not paying my credit card off 15 days early, but I'm still going to provide you with that information in case that's the decision and route that you want to go. So this video is supposed to be informational. So let's keep going. Another tip I'm going to give you is to update your salary information. Okay, so depending on when you got your card, you might have been making a lot less money than you are now. For example, when I got my first credit card, it was a Discover card, and I only got it because I was a student. Nobody wanted to give me a credit card, but I was 18. I was making like $100 a week of working at a grocery store. I'm 21 now. I make a lot more money, and so if I hadn't updated my salary information, they wouldn't have been giving me more money to spend, because why would they give me credit limit increases when I'm still only in their eyes making $100? So make sure your salary information is up to date. Make sure that everything's up to date so that you can get the most accurate picture presented to the credit bureaus, and so that they can give you the most money that they can, because believe it or not, they do want to give you more money, because in their eyes you're gonna have a balance. You're gonna be paying them all this interest, and so they want to push out and give you as much money as you can. So definitely work with them, update information, call them. You can also just obviously apply for a credit limit increase, and when you do that, they're going to ask you how much money you make anyway and see if your salary has increased anyway. Another tip, which is really, really important, look at your payment history and make sure that you're not spending more than you're paying off. So let's say you spend $1,000 a month, but you're only making $300 in payments every month. Yes, you have no missed payments. Yes, you have no late payments, but it looks like you're having a hard time paying back the money that they've given you. So they're not going to give you more money to spend, because yes, they do want to give you more money, but at the end of the day, they're a business and they don't want to lose any money. So if they feel like giving you an extra $10,000, that's really steep. If they feel like giving you an extra $2,000 is gonna, result in you not being able to pay it back because you're already struggling to pay it back, they're not going to do that. So make sure you are paying off your cards either in full or paying off a majority of your credit off every single month. Another thing that's going to affect your ability to get credit limit increases and increase your credit score is the age of your credit. So when I first got my credit card and I had that first year, it's always the hardest because people are waiting for you to mess up. Are you gonna make a missed payment? Are you gonna have a late payment? Are you gonna go bankrupt? Like, we don't really know you. Like, that's kind of how it is. And so I didn't really get a whole bunch of credit limit increases that first year. But after that, and they see like you're doing well, you're on time payments, you're paying off your cards, you're not spending more than you're paying off, they will begin to increase your credit. I never had to apply for a credit limit increase just because I did pay my cards off and it was fine, but I didn't get any credit limit increases until I started putting every single purchase on my credit card. So I haven't used my debit card in years because everything goes on my credit card, and ever since then Discover would usually regularly increase my credit. I don't use my Discover card anymore. I just got the AMEX Gold card, which doesn't really have a limit, so I don't really know how that's gonna work. But with Discover, they would just increase my credit regularly without me having to apply once I started to use my credit card a lot more, and once I was over that like 12-month threshold. Which brings me to my next point, which is that when you are applying for a credit card and you're just starting on your credit card journey, make sure that you apply for multiple cards in a short period of time. If you have a bunch of cards, not a bunch, don't apply for a bunch, you guys. 2 or 3 is good, okay? You have people on the internet like, what's in my wallet, and they have like 20 cards, and they have like literally like every freaking Chase points card, every cashback card, and it's just like, for what? And you don't even spend that. I'm not pocket watching, but you would have to spend a lot of money, and these cards have annual fees for it to even be worth it. I'm confused, but anyway, I get that it's a job, and we're here to, okay, anyways. Make sure that when you first apply for a credit card, if you have another one you want to apply for shortly after that, you do that as soon as possible, because as soon as you apply for that second credit card, it's going to decrease your average credit card history, which is going to affect your score, and then in turn affect your ability to get credit limit increases, potentially. It's not a fact, but that's just something to keep in mind. For example, when I got my Discover card, that was cool. Like 6 months later, I got my Sephora card. So now instead of my average history being 6 months, it's like 3 months now. And then I got a gold card like a year and a half later. So instead of my credit history then being a year and a half, now it's like a year and 3 months and something like that. And it does affect your credit score. So just make sure that you do your research before you apply for any credit cards. Like find 2 or 3 that you want to apply for. Maybe apply for one, once a month or whatever. And just really get them as quick as possible, because you don't want to have like 5 years go by and then you're like, well, 5 years you grow a lot, but you don't want to have like 6 months go by and then you're like, oh, I need a new credit card, or oh, I want a new credit card, because it's going to affect your age of history. I also just want to re-emphasize the fact that credit, a lot of it is mental. In this journey of building credit and trying to get your credit limit to increase and trying to spend more money so that it looks like you're using your credit card, don't get lost and don't fall into the habit of believing that your credit limit is the amount of money you have. Okay, so make sure you're really paying attention and being mindful of every single purchase. Just be natural with your credit card. Don't be out here trying to put on a show for anybody or for yourself or for the credit card companies. Make sure you're staying true and only buying the things that you were going to buy anyway with your debit card. Really, making sure that you're on top of it, because the last thing you want to do is be in a situation where it's really, really hard for you to pay that money back, and you're not going to increase your credit that way anyway. So it's just like, be responsible is the best advice that I could give you. And I don't want to see you in a situation where you're struggling. So make sure you are being responsible. And yeah, those are like the best tips I could give. So I hope this video was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.